Are we on? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Cameras.
This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Now I tell you what, this song is one of the songs that has grown on me. I don't know about you, but
Facts.
It's grown on me so
Facts.
hard. Now I'm just bumping my head to the song and I'm like, yeah, if you did the magic on super. And of course, you released a brand new album, right? Oh, it's an EP. It's an album. EP. Well, it's out there. You can go cap it as well and listen and soak it. I'm yet to do that though, but very impressed with this very first release. Can't wait to see the other videos that would come on this one as well. Big shouts going out to you, Natalia Nanama Ando, aka PR1. She understands what I'm saying. Well, discover a world of innovation. You just discovered it, in fact, with Bang & Olufsen. Gift of Music is a new season for you to go to Bang & Olufsen and grab a brand new product for yourself as well. Beautiful products on display. You just watched it earlier on. If you missed out on it, just definitely catch our socials. We'll definitely put those videos and pictures back on the screen. But you'd find them on the Atlantic Tower building, Liberation Road Airport. You can't go wrong. You always find it. Just put in your Google map, you have no excuse. Also, we've got good news for you. 3 Music Network has gone beyond Ghana into from Africa into the rest of the world via Channel 7, which is on Sky 181 in the UK, giving us access to 187 countries across the world. Now you find Culture Daily, Chef It Up, and Just Vibes airing on Channel 7 on Sky 181. So make sure you get updated. Well, the Just Vibes Spaces is also on every Monday at 8 p.m. You can just log on to our spaces and join a Silphon and team as they talk on Gen Z conversations, man. It's so exciting. Olile, you should kind of express yourself there one of these days.
I joined the last 2 spaces.
Oh my days! It's not for you, man.
This ain't me.
This ain't you. Charlie, when the OJ is catching you, man, it's catching up with you. You know.
This ain't me.
Yeah, that's how it works. Anyway, so they are on every Monday evening 8 p.m. and the conversations related to that's age bracket, you definitely catch it on there as well. And every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth and leading to tooth decay and gum disease, and in some cases foul breath. Now, brushing your teeth every morning with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives your teeth protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. It's fortified with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients. You see, I told you it was cereal. If you said there's a problem. Sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth and prevents cavities and keeps your teeth stronger and your mouth also very, very healthy. And on that note, this morning, healthy events is the order of the day. As we're getting close to December, we are reigniting the conversations on trying to have a very clean experience. And the experience isn't just the diaspora touching base at Kutuka. Even that one, we'll talk about that later on. And having the, enjoying the activities that's going to be happening right here in the capital city and beyond. And for us, it's very important to touch base on the various and the different departments and the engines that come together to oil and run that experience that you're looking for. To, for example, Tidal Rave, Global Citizen, Mozama Disco Cristo event, Zama coming up, you name them, the Wilderland Festival,
Promised
all these Promised Land, Charlie De Chao, Rapaholic, and Beam Concert, and man, the list is endless. But for this to happen, it's very important that certain key people must make sure their work is done and done well. Today, we're starting off with the business of music from the backstage. It's very important. Now, we've hammered this over and over and over again, but yet still somehow, some way, we have certain errors coming in there. Now, I keep saying that the noise you see on the stage is the noise, or the beauty you see on the stage is as a result of what's happening at the backstage. So if you go for an event where you see plenty of people on the stage doing nothing, crossing over, running across here and there, it's because somebody at the backstage is not getting it right. Equally, when you see a clean front end, where the artist is performing, DJ coming up next, and the person comes on, MC, it means the backstage conversation is happening. And this morning, Soraya is here to help us understand the ethics of the backstage. Very important. We are moving into a season. It's of great concern to us to maintain high standards. Soraya, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my color is matching the company.
Come on now.
Salary.
You take your 2%.
Especially that screen.
Yes.
That's great. It matches nicely. We are getting into the season again.
Yep.
The conversations are back again annually, like we do it. We talk about it when the year is the year is coming up.
Conversations, yeah.
The conversations. I mean, recently we just came from the title rave. We saw some artists. I think Mugiz went on stage. He said a lot. There was some brouhaha. We saw people, all the trends going on, and PR from Stone Boys team shared their side of the story. And Sarkodie's name was there. Angel was trending. I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff. It's not even necessarily about title rave, but it's about the era that we probably keep repeating. First off, we're having a conversation. You just mentioned something very important on the backstage. If you can break it down into the various departments and chambers that should ideally be working under this backstage.
So ideally, what in the game we call the green room space, which is the space that is held behind the stage, is the last stop before you mount the stage, is a service that we offer as a company, but more so is a service that should go beyond the day of the concert itself. So ideally, when a company reaches out to me and says, especially international acts, because in Ghana that's what we tend to do when we're doing international acts. That is when I mostly get phone calls, right? So what would ideally happen is someone would say, we've booked so and so person and this is their rider. We've given the technical side to the technical guys, bench, light, sound, stage, with the kind of drums they need and so on and so forth. And then here's the hospitality. I would say that's even a little too late. The perfect thing would be, this is the company that we work with all the time. So you know who you're going to use for sound all the time. You know who you're going to use for lights all the time. You also have to know who you're going to use for the backstage. Now, before you even reach out to the artist, I am able to give you a little bit of background and say, okay, this is what this person's rider will look like. 90% of the time, it might be a couple of changes where this person at some point in time was a full-blown vegetarian and now they're pescatarian, or they were a pescatarian and now they're full-blown vegetarian. So their riders don't change very much, but they tweak from time to time. But I'm able to give you some sort of background and say, on average, this artist is going to cost you this amount to bring him in. The mistake a lot of event organizers do is they say, okay, I want to book 50 Cent. 50 Cent is going to cost me $250,000. Oh, I've got $250,000. I've got $100,000 for setup. That's it, we're done. What they don't realize is, if you haven't seen the person's rider, you don't realize that 50 Cent now demands a team of 5 people, minimum a private jet, or all business class, first class tickets. So right there, your $250,000 has gone up to $300,000 or $400,000 because of the private jet. Or if you're doing all first class tickets and it's $20,000 a ticket in peak time, that's another $100K, right? Yeah. Then you have to understand that 50 Cent's rider now says, I need to have the presidential suites and 5 junior suites for my team.
Charlie, luxury is coming up. Please get ready for the conversation. Luxury is coming up. Luxury is coming up. Now, I repeat, luxury is coming up.
I mean, it's necessary to have this conversation also because then some people don't understand that these artists need to, demand certain things to also make them comfortable.
I'm not going to call out anybody, but let's call out somebody. So, for example, I think, if the Livewire guys had the background information of Wizkid, they would have been able to better plan the budget. Does that make sense? So booking Wizkid is just one stop. What about all the extra details that come with it? So now let's go back. Now we've got the rooms, which is one presidential suite. Now I don't know any A-class celebrity who is not going to demand the presidential suite of your hotel. So whatever the hotel is, they're going to demand the most important room at that hotel.
Do you make room for miscellaneous like things that they might demand on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying, that even before
Beyond contract.
Coming
to a point. They know so I'll be coming to.
You see, these contracts are quite vague because it says something like the comfortability of the artist. Now, how do you measure comfortability?
So it's not detailed.
Yeah.
So even though it might say I want 7 bottles of Ace of Spades, it still says the comfortability. So if today 7 makes me comfortable, but tomorrow 8 makes me comfortable, you provide the extra. And you don't say, "Oh, you said 7, so therefore no." So you got the hotel rooms, right? Now we go to the fleet, transportation fleets. Now transportation fleets are things that are quite technical. So you would have the luxury fleet for the artist itself, and then you have the actual fleet for the team.
The team, yeah.
Yes. Now the team's fleet needs to be practical. Okay, they don't need Rolls Royces, and I've seen a lot of mistakes happen where I've seen people rent out 23 Rolls Royces, and the team is blowing through 5,000 Ghana cedis worth of fuel every day, because the team's job is to run around Accra looking for certain things.
Right.
So it needs to be technical. So it's not for us. It's not just about luxury. It needs to make sense, and it needs to equate to what they need it for. On the first day of travel, they will need a luggage van. I've seen this happen so many times, where, for example, a very big celebrity came in on a private jet, and we got him a limo, and there was no space for his luggage because the limo was nice and flashy and everything.
Did he have a
Didn't
booth?
think about.
But he had like maybe his clothing luggage alone was like 15 suitcases.
Oh my days.
This is a very big artist. I don't want to it was
Hey, he's not here, so he's gone.
Chris Brown. Right? So when Chris Brown came in, there was a lot. There was a lot. No, but you see, Chris Brown has clothing changes, dancers, this. So the technical team, what they needed really, truly wasn't fancy cars. They needed vans.
Vans.
Right, because the communication hadn't gone down properly. They had all these fancy cars. I don't know if you remember, that was the time of Eurostar. Eurostar Bentley, Eurostar Bentley. That's not what they needed, because all those fancy cars have one thing in common: very small boots.
Yeah, very small. Yeah, limos
Yeah, so they're very, very small boots. So these guys were like now shoving in the suitcases into these fancy ass cars, which makes damages to the cars and stuff like that. So that's another thing, right? Then you go on to on-ground feeding. On-ground feeding is something that's very, very important, because people don't need to understand something. And I always say this to people, even for our artists that go abroad, it's so important. Like when I do like UK based shows, and people are like, I'm a Ghana. I'm like, no, it's so important, because, for example, if you have the right type of artist, the person can be very sensitive. Giving them the wrong food to you might feel like you are being.
That would be a trigger.
It's a trigger that can destroy your whole show. I've seen people get really sick from food. So this is not when you start experimenting. If they are telling you when they want chicken and rice, give them chicken and rice. This is not when you start saying, "Oh, my cousin owns the fanciest restaurant in Accra, so I'm going to take you to and try sushi upon this and that and that." Yeah, you're not impressing anyone. Whatever you're showing them in Accra, they've already had it before. So the practicality of on-ground feeding is very important. People always think of just the artists. Okay, you're feeding the artists in the top restaurants, and you're giving the team the crap. But the team is the guy who manages his sound. So when the guy who manages sound has diarrhea, the show is messed up.
You are messed up.
It's messed up.
Charlie, the various engines must be.
It's just so intricate, right? So these are all the things you have to take into consideration. So once you take that into consideration, I think it allows you to decide on the kind of artist you want to book. Because if you book that kind of artist, right, that's a male artist. Now, if you go a little bit step further, if you go on a female artist like a Nicki Minaj, now you have to take into consideration clothing, makeup, and all of these things, hair and all of these things, which is another system on its own, right? So I'll give you an example. When Lauryn Hill came in with a glam team. Now, at that time, we didn't have Kempinski, we had Movenpick.
Right.
So Movenpick gave her the presidential suite, but Movenpick suites didn't have adjoining suites. So her demand was, well, I need to have my glam team adjoining room next to me because I've got my kids with me, plus I need to have the adjoining suite so I can just slip into the next room and change it. So that became a challenge, right? But these are things. So now when you're booking your hotel, now you have to take into consideration what the person needs and the practicality of what the person needs. So ideally, you've done that. You've reached out to us. We've given you the advice, and now we've agreed that 50 Cent might be a little bit too expensive. Let's go for Drake. I'm just joking. I know.
Just an
I know. People are gonna get upset. I just want to. I was shading Drake. Drake is gonna get on social media. That's happening. No, I'm just giving you an example. So now you've gotten your Drake. Your Drake is in town now, right? Now, things like things used to be a little bit easier. So when we would do an event, let me give Bow Wow and Kerry Hilson, we had what we called welcome pack. So the welcome pack would include phones, SIM cards, so a little bit more details. You need to have a notary republic on standby, just in case an artist decides to get married or change his contract.
For those who don't know what that
is,
just break
a
it down.
notary republic is like it's a specific type of lawyer who can deem documents, almost like a judge kind of thing. You can stamp certain documents, and then it has legal binding. So most international acts, you have to have a notary public on standby. So it means we always have a notary public that we contract. So we know that if this artist is in town this weekend, worst case scenario, you would need to stop whatever you're doing on a Sunday afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning and come. I've never had a situation where we've needed the notary public. But we've always had one on standby. You would need to have a doctor on standby. So we always have a doctor from Naho Clinic that we contract, that we know that he's on standby for the weekend. Whatever the case is, he can run to the situation. Good thing is a lot of events also have ambulances, medics and stuff close by. But a specific doctor on standby. A doctor that knows who the artist is and knows that if there's any medical issues, they already have Googled them a little bit and gotten some details about them. So you need to have those things on standby. Sometimes they're listed in the riders, sometimes they're not, but it makes sense to have that. So every artist that comes through the system, comes to Ghana, needs to know where their embassy is in case of anything. Coup, fights,
attacks,
whatever. So you always alert them. So in the information pack, there is a direct contact to their embassy of origin, which sounds easy, but I have to understand that. For example, with Lauryn Hill, she's American. Her bandsmen, some of them were Jamaican, some of them were. So you have to get all this.
All of the people, not
just the artists. Everybody's in town.
That's a lot of work.
Not just the artists. Everybody's in town. So the Canadian embassy, the American embassy, everybody. You have to find some sort of contact in every single space, and sort of say, this is what and share contact with them. You usually can just give them their receipt. Most embassies have a 24-hour number.
Right.
You have to list things that they can do and things that they can't do. You have to give them a word of warning. If certain countries approve certain brands of water, certain countries don't. They are all available on the embassy's websites and the type of things that they approve and some things that they don't approve. Then you go to what they want. And then you start going through the list of what they want. And first and foremost, you see if it's available in the country, because there is no point in one of the challenges I have with most event organizers is they look at the rider and say, then they sign the contract, and then they try to figure out if they can get the things. And it's not just the hospitality side of the rider, the technical side of the rider. So you haven't shared the information with Frankie. You don't even know if this mixer is available in Ghana or not. But because you're excited that 50 Cent is coming, you've signed off that 50 Cent is coming. Now you can't find the mixer board or the mixer board, the type of mixer board that he wants. The only person who has it is Mensa Audible, and Mensa Audible is not going to let you rap on his mixer board. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the realities, and so it's not just the hospitality side, but the technical side, and these are the things that cause challenges. So now you have promised these artists, you've agreed, yes. And it speaks to what's been happening recently. You sign a contract, and in the contract you say 40 minutes for performance, 45 minutes for performance. Now, I've had the conversations going about, this person was taking a little bit too long. My question is, on the flip side, if the person had gone on stage and performed 15 minutes and left, that same company could now turn around and say, well, you didn't fulfill your contract. You were supposed to do 45 minutes and you left early. So we're holding you to it.
Definitely.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's a catch-22 where like we now have to look at the contracts and then build it. So once we have if you found your artist, you've agreed on your budget, we've signed off, we've discovered that 90% of these things in the write-up, we can find them in Ghana. And to be very honest with you, especially with the international acts, they're very understanding. A quick email can say
they're coming to a third world country or
it's not even about a third world country, because I've done things in the UK where you said we don't have this brand of product. We don't have it. The fact that your favorite juice is Tropicana, then we don't have it in the UK. We have this as an alternative. That's what it is.
Right.
So you can bring your juice and we'll cover the cost of it, or we can offer you the alternatives. So if your favorite wine, like the only wine you ever drink in this world is some, and I'm using this as like some, the director of The Godfather's private vineyards wine, something that I've been asked for before.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't have it. I don't know where his private vineyard is. We don't have it.
Food actually a true story?
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Food and Drugs Board has not approved it. So
Somebody wanted wine from someone's private vineyard?
So no. So Francis Coppola, which is the director of the Godfather series, he has his own wine brand.
Okay. And why you go?
And that be that person in favorite wine.
For Ghana here?
No. That be what's in Yankee. That's his favorite wine.
No, I'm saying like, so he's coming to Ghana, right?
I don't get down.
Oh, Charlie.
But the thing is, why would they want? Why is it the only day they must drink wine?
I'm shocked.
Can't you drink wine tomorrow when you go back?
Days, what you need?
So this is the thing about it. That's what I'm saying. Communication is everything. So we communicate to you and we say this wine is unavailable in this country. It's two options. We can absorb the cost of you bringing a couple of bottles, bearing in mind that customs will not let you bring more than 6 bottles, right? So we can absorb the fact that we can cover these 6 bottles cost, or we have these range of wines. Welcome to Ghana. South African wines are really great. Try it. And most of the time,
Ghana anyway.
No, we don't have wine. We don't do grapes. Don't do that. We have other things. So you offer but the conversation has to be had before. I found out that 95% of the time, I don't care who it is, Davido, Burna Boy, whoever, if you communicate to them prior to the event, they are 99% more relaxed than when they get on ground and say, oh, by the way, the Hennessy you wanted, we are being sponsored by this company, so we can't give you Hennessy. That thing they bore. Like it really gets them upset.
And,
so
you can understand how.
Yeah, like your mindset is this what I'm coming to. So at least you say to them, oh, we even recently I think Richard Moffat Amijo, RMD for Emmy Awards. He signed, or no, I don't know if he signed, but he does this thing for Glenfiddich, right? Clearly explain to him that before you coming, we have a competing brand sponsor. So we won't be able to serve you what you want on the day of the event. Okay, great. So all he said was, okay, then do not serve me any other brand whiskey. End of story. Oh. So just don't put their brand in front of me. Yeah. I can drink anything else, but I can't have, because I'm of Glenfiddich, don't put it in front of me. Yeah. Simple. So I think everything is communication, right? These contracts, people look at contracts as like a bad thing. Contracts are actually just communication. I'm telling you what I want and how I want it, and then you can always come back to me and negotiate and tell me what you can do and what you can't do. But most of the time, like I said, event organizers go ahead, sign off on it, and before even doing the research into the rider.
So basically, Soraya, what you're saying is ideally the proper process should be, I'm an organizer. I want to bring someone like maybe 50 Cent, right? Before I finalize everything with 50 cents, I would have to come and sit with you and say, this is who I'm looking to bring into the country. And so all the questions, checks whatsoever, handle it. And then
and give me the cost.
Okay. And then you send me a report. Then my business is just to pay, because by the time you have just finished everything.
But it's the same thing with sound. Would you
I see it.
Would you book an artist on the caliber of 50 Cent and be like, okay, you don't, you don't consult anybody who's done that level of show production wise. You don't consult anyone, and then you just book them, and now you're like, okay, what speakers do I need? Beach speakers. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's backwards. You know what I mean? So once you know the project that you have at hand, you have to build a team according to that project. You know, and again, one thing I will say that people need to understand is Ghana, we're very lucky. Our production space is actually more helpful than a lot of production spaces.
Explain.
Okay, we have people. Top 3 guys in sound are probably one of the most friendliest people in sound.
Okay.
That I know working around the world. Like, you can't go up to O2 and be like,
you want to change this?
I want to. Hey, did you go to school with me? Yeah. Do you understand the qualification? Do you understand that the vibrato?
They will remind you quickly.
The vibrato of the space and the structure of the.
They will remind you quick.
You know, good too. And I think, like, even people like Kojo Poku, like, they're always willing to, like, share ideas and, like, okay,
they're flexible.
Yeah, even though they have their own businesses, they're always like, okay, okay, this is your idea. How about we do? Even Tony, people like Tony are so willing to, like, bend and understand and try and figure out, and even help you. Sometimes your idea or your concept, you didn't even think of it to that level. And I think that it's quite unique. And I think that's one of the reasons why things like Afrofuture can grow into the kind of brand that is growing. The guys are great, but the people, the production teams around are, like, putting in, you know, ideas and so on and so forth. Same thing with Afro Nation. It's like, ideas are great. We're doing it. We might have the money, but if you don't have the willing team to, like, bend over backwards for you, you know, we know of events that happen, like, made with no money, but they still flourish.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, I feel you.
Because
the expertise and
everybody's, like, trying
skill sets.
Yeah.
Everything came together.
So my thing is, tap into those things. This is what you want to do. This is the event you want to do. Great. You registered your company. You've done all you need to do. You got your financing. Let's make it happen.
But you see, interestingly, still on the skill set and production, most have suffered, you know, a lot of bashing as a result of some of the outcomes of these shows or these products. I mean, and
90% of the time, it's timing or finances.
Good. Okay. And so that's the main challenge.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. That you have come in and say you want to bring 50 cents.
Right.
You come in. I hope you're not coming to me for the money.
Okay.
You have the money, right?
Right.
You want to bring in 50 cents.
Yeah, I want to bring 50 cents.
So you got a dough.
Yeah, I got a dough.
Because you're not coming to me for the dough. Yeah. You're coming to me. You're not going to, like, Soraya, let's work on this together.
No, I have the money. So I should talk to 50 cents. But when it comes to technical requirements, I should come to you.
Because at the end
guide you.
Yes, to guide you. And at the end of the day, we want to see the industry do well. I personally, I want to see Ghana beyond December.
Right.
I want to see Ghana. I want March to be like a huge made in Ghana season where the whole of March is like back to back made in Ghana experiences, not just events, experiences. I want things like even like we need to figure out how to make like our raining season fun. Like we need to figure it out because that's the only way that, like, if we're gonna call Ghana a major creative, you can be a major creative in two ways. You can be a major creative because you have a large number of people, which we don't. And you could be a major creative because we have skill, which we have. So we need to put those things in place and create experiences. Like, people need to want to come to, like, think about it. People go to the UK all the time. Like, why? There's nothing there.
Sorry, you mentioned two events, Afrofuture and then Afro Nation, right? I mean, they have done so well with, you know, everything, right? It's why we are even looking at Afrofuture probably going beyond the borders of Ghana.
Well, they've already done that. They've done South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, Africa, beyond the borders of Africa, I beg your pardon. So with that, what would you say that they have paid particular attention to that probably, you know, other people are not paying attention to?
So I will say a couple of things. So with Afrofuture, I mean, the origins of Afrochella, now Afrofuture, it started off as like pop-up events in the US, right? I think when it comes to events outside of Ghana, you have to make your money go far.
Okay.
If I'm spending $100, no matter how much the budget is, if I'm spending $1,000 on a ticket, I have to feel like I'm having a $10,000 experience.
Right.
So when you go to Afrochella, now Afrofuture, sorry, you go to Afrofuture and you see these curated pop-up photo booths, these food spaces, these activations, all of those things make you feel like it's not just stand there and clap. And I feel people do it themselves a disservice by getting to Afrofuture like in the evening.
Yeah, because when you go during the day, there's so much that's happening.
Like it pass like even in the evening concerts. I feel like even the musical concert is probably like my least favorite thing about the Afrofuture because it's more about the vibe. The people are dancing, people are talking, people are jamming, and that's what people are buying into. It's the experience. And the thing is, we have to understand that experiences are created. You can't just like expect it to happen. You have to be intentional about it. You have to be intentional about creating those experiences. And so, and it's the same thing for us. Like, we have to be so intentional to create the right experience for artists because we need them to be on the stage with the right mindset. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't want to use the word local, but when it comes to Ghanaian acts, we have to be so intentional. Like, it got to a time when whenever I'm doing an event and I know that R2Bs is coming, there were certain things that even if the show wasn't paying for, I would get, because I know Mugi's and I know what Mugi's wants. I know what Payday wants.
What does he want?
She's not going to say, you know, that.
Mugi!
No, guys, no. I'm talking about food-wise. Food-wise, right? I know what people want. Like, for example, like, I know what Joey wants.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people would see Joey B and be like, he's like a fishing, like a foreign food.
Do our local artists, let me just say local, Ghana, do our local artists get Ghanaian artists get this level of comfort deserved at a lot of the events they attend? And
I would say not enough. Not enough.
Is it fair or we are to understand?
No, it's not fair. And we are to understand. Let me explain why.
Okay.
It depends on the event. Okay? If I give you a rider and my rider consists of, to be fair, I've not seen any Ghanaian rider that I would say is unnecessary. Okay. If I give you a rider and my rider consists of 4 bottles of alcohol, a platter of food, a crate of soft drinks, a crate of energy drinks, water, right? And you tell me, budget-wise, you're giving me 1/3 of it. And I then see you spend everything on an act that's not from Ghana. I think that's a disrespect.
Yeah, totally.
I think that's a complete disrespect. Okay? If I don't ask for it as an artist, and then you get backstage and you realize this person has it but you don't have it, then you didn't ask for it. So we've had incidents like that where you walk into Stoneboy's changing room, he's got what he needs because he's asked for it, and then you're like, so and so get this, we don't get it. I'm like, you didn't ask for it.
Does the artist level status, commercial hit value, in any way add up to what he or she can ask for? So let's say,
for sure,
Jay is coming, and I mean, I have only a one hit to be that was in 2004, but I'm going to perform. And when I'm coming, I'm asking for certain things.
So the question is, what are you asking for, and do you need it? Okay. So for example, most foreign riders assume after sound check, even though they try to go back, they assume after sound check they won't get the chance to go back to the main event. This is stemmed from the fact that in America they use buses to get to their location. So when they get to their location, after sound check, there's no hotel to go back. They're sleeping on the bus. So after sound check, they stay in the venue and then they do the event. So most foreign riders will request that after sound check, there should be food, hot food, before the event. So sound check might be at 12, food can come in at 4, and the event starts at 7. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, that's because it's needed, right? Are you asking for 25 bottles of Ace of Spades because you just want to ask for it? Or are you a champagne drinker?
Okay.
Do you get where I'm coming from? Because I find it very interesting when artists have like super demanding riders, and then when they are hosting their own events, and I say, hey guys, let's do so. Oh, Chalebe could give them water. Shots! Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you are upset with Charterhouse because Charterhouse didn't give you 17 bottles of champagne. But your own concerts, you don't even serve energy drinks.
No, but you see, to be fair to them, they don't have the budget of Charterhouse.
No.
They don't,
This is what I'm saying.
It's like an independent candidate going head to head.
No, I disagree. This is what I'm saying. What do you need versus what do you want?
Right.
There are some people that need alcohol before they hit the stage. There's some people who don't even touch the alcohol. So why are you asking for it? Are you asking for it because you want to make a dent in someone's pocket? Then ask for more money.
Right. But you know, with what Soraya is saying, right? Soraya, are there times, or is it allowed for artists to make all the demands they are making, and then at the end of the day, if they don't use it, are they allowed to take it away?
Most artists do. That's just not Ghanaians. That's everybody.
Okay.
I have seen. I saw Cardi B put Pepsi in her pocket. Like it's normal. It's not like it's not like it's not like a thing. It's just like I saw Bow Wow go, these are mine, right?
So that would then explain why they're making the demands, right? Because then they also know that if I can't
open your provision shop.
Some people will say if I can't drink it there or if I can't use it there, I can take it away.
But the realisticness of it all is that if Bow Wow's team is a team of 5, the items there feed 5.
So if you ask for 30 bottles, you
understand what I'm saying?
To open your provision.
So you know that energy drink and water usually people will ask 3-4 times. Like Global Citizen, Stormzy's team, they asked for like I think 4-5 crates of water. It went like this, and even with them, like we assume that because they don't realize how hot it is, they go need more water. So we had more. Like it makes sense. If you are coming in and his team was 21. Right? If you're coming in and you're 4 and you're asking for 4 crates of water, you are not going to drink it.
That's extreme.
Please, so that means in the interest of time,
I want to ask
they're not realistic.
About how do you handle overbooking of artists on one stage? I mean, at one event, there are about 30 artists performing, and they're all going to come there and come and wait, and you have a small working space because it's happening, and it has happened.
It's happening all the time. So, ideally, most riders say a lockable changing room, which means every artist is supposed to have their own change room that they can put their stuff in and lock it. Safety, manager keeps it. If you want to keep your drugs there, your gold bars, whatever you have, is your problem.
She just had to say.
I'm just saying it's your.
Oh, you mean like first aid, like paracetamol?
Like para, your shots.
My guy.
I got you.
What if you're diabetic?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, drugs.
You need the vitamin
drugs.
C's in your,
Yes.
This one, the caller called and said that he takes his weed, and I said, do you know it's a criminal offense? He says, yeah, but he does it in hiding.
But right. Number one, we have 3 challenges in Ghana. We have space. We have space, a lack of a catalog. So most artists lack catalogs. What I mean by that is, like you're saying, you have a show, you got 30 people on there, everybody's coming to do 2 songs. If we had 20 artists that had 45-minute, 1-hour catalogs each, you only need 5 of them to do a 5-hour show. But a lot of the artists that we have, because of the kind of personalities that we are, psychology, we'll talk about that another day, we only have artists that have, most artists that are trending now have 2 songs. So what we usually do is we build what we call a festival system. Festival system is you have X amount of change rooms. You hold, even though you don't lock it down, you hold 3 rooms for the headliners and assume that these rooms are for the headliners. You use them in an emergency, but you hold them. You hold an extra room for ladies, because ladies always take a little bit longer. And then you run a system, a festival system for all of them, where you go in, you come out, you go in, you come out. The challenge is, this is what I was talking about, communication. Because the event organizers usually don't communicate to the artists ahead of time, or what they try to do is give me their contact numbers the day of the concert. What happens is, when you say, okay, you're done performing, can we have the room back? They're like, no, me, I live in Afienya, where am I? Like, I can't go, no. If the communication is done right, they know that the change rooms are a festival style. You come in, you use it, when you're done, you leave. That also means that the event organizers also have to make an allocation for invitations or tickets for the artists.
To enter?
Yes.
Afterwards?
Yes. So I can choose to enter afterwards or I can leave. And again, these are things that are supposed to be negotiated in your contract. I don't understand how you are booking somebody for a show for 5K, right? I'm just giving an example. 5K, your ticket is 100 CDs. The person needs 10 tickets. Like, how are you negotiating this? Mr. Manager, I'm saying this, artist manager, like, how are you negotiating this? Just take the 1,000 CDs and make it 6K. Why are you negotiating for 10 free tickets? Because it's cost to the event organizers. So it's either you're done, you leave, or you're done, you enter the venue. And what most artist managers want to do is enter the venue with their whole crew.
Everybody.
Which is a cost to the event organizers.
How do you handle those things at the backstage?
Like,
One.
When the artist comes
J.
with
Foley's me.
17.
like, I love it.
It's
me.
really
Okay,
important.
so for me, what I have done over the years is I've always been fair. I can go to Gomi and say, Gomi, Charlie, today you people overdo them.
That's the RTB's camp.
Yes. Like today, normally, and I will say things like, if they are beautiful girls, I wouldn't mind, but these are just guys. What are they here for? So it's more of a relationship and banter, right? But then they understand that, okay, the practicality of it. And they know that if there is space, I will allow the space. Because what you've been allocated for food and drinks, if you're 20, you're 15, you're 37, that's what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So the question usually is a matter of space.
Sorry, just a quick one. Do you often talk to them before they come?
Yeah.
So they give you like a number, maybe like, oh.
So if I'm doing an event,
right,
even if the event organizers don't reach out, like they don't let me know, like put me in contact with them, I look at the list and I'll speak to them.
Okay.
And I'll be like, you guys
are coming. So how many people are coming with you?
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Is there a way we can have the dancers in another room? Right. I'll say that. I'll say we have a space for dancers. We have a space for bandsmen because the space is not big enough. So can we shift half of you guys over there? Oh, Charlie, some of my guys said they no come inside. Well, no problem. And we'll have some sort of conversation and we'll come to an agreement. I want you to make your boys be comfortable because at the end of the day, they want their own artists to be comfortable.
Right.
Yeah. I've had situations where artists have come up to me and say, Charlie, the boys threw them out.
And that's why I wanted to find out if some of these waiting rooms, right, are they time sensitive?
Yeah, a lot of the time they are.
Okay.
Because what usually happens is in Ghana, and again, this is where I blame event organizers. Event organizers love selling this idea of you're closing out the show. Right. So they say to this person you're closing out the show. They say to this person you're closing out the show. This person you're closing out the show. Now everybody comes backstage and everybody's relaxed. Because I'm the last person to go.
This is I dropped your request.
Yeah. I think
it's because there's something that she's mentioned with regards to now the manager, how you deal with the managers.
Yes.
When it comes to some of these real tough decisions you have to take on who stays, who goes out, costing. I think we want to expand this, but unfortunately time is up. So I've just put a request to Lily as well. Let's look at the Friday conversation.
We will look to bring it back on Friday.
And let's because
please. And I think we'll try and get this gentleman from Arcavaganza. He also shared a very interesting experience on Facebook where he said he has to J his eye and tell some of the artist managers to step off or to get out of there.
Yeah, but you see, for me,
so please don't
so we'll bring the two of you and
on air. We want this commitment. Let's have this conversation on Friday. Let's have
a commitment. I want to negotiate. Better coffee.
Fine, please.
And croissants.
Please.
And croissants.
We'll do that. We'll get that for you. But you see for yourself that there's a lot for us to talk about now that we are hitting that season again. And of course, you touched on the fact that we need to go beyond December and look at how we can activate other months and look at it's a lot of things. In fact, I like the fact that you started this whole conversation with all the various areas that we've possibly overlooked. But I also want to ask the question for Friday is how do we do same for our local artists? Would it be fair or would it be unfair to the pocket of Ghanaian artists? Well, they're local here with us, right?
No,
I mean,
I think we've made the word local negative.
All right, so Ghanaian artists.
But I just want to quickly say, right? So the thing is, we're going into that season now. There's a lot of young people. And when I say young people, I mean young businesses who are venturing into events this season. Hit me up. Let's have a conversation. I mean, I'm one person, but the good thing is we built a wonderful network over the years of, even if it's not me managing or backstage, I have a lot of people who could do that for me.
Now that you say hit me up, our time is up.
Just call me 0205 958 770 because honestly,
I want to repeat that because they'll go like, wait, hold on, my phone.
0205 958 770. Or you can go onto the 3 Music page and just forward mine because I don't know my handles.
Well, we are getting here back in here on Friday. There's a lot of conversations to have on this. Thank you so very much. And I won't even end the thank yous here. We'll end it on Friday when we finish that off. But it's been good having you as well. Watch Culture Daily this morning and watch out for a part 2 on this on Friday as promised. And we are out of here.